With 3 rounds down in the country's elite drift series, all eyes are now focused on the back end of the season and the coveted 07 championship. In treacherous conditions, the finest drifters in the land converged on Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway in a bid to obtain crucial championship points and gain some vital momentum as the season end draws ever nearer. Enter Tom Monkhouse. The young South Aussie defied all odds to claim his first ever round win, single-handedly taking care of Team Pier in the process. This round, the Sideways Circus heads north to sunny Queensland Raceway. Last year, the paperclip was the scene of some of the finest drifting ever seen down under, with local Robbie Bolger taking home the gong. With the clock winding down on season 07, it's now or never as the best drifters in the land go head-to-head in a battle royale here at round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia Series.
Welcome race fans for round 4 of the Toyo Drift Australia Series from lovely sunny Queensland Raceway. And what a stark contrast it's been to Eastern Creek, where Turbo Tom Monkhouse took the narrowest win over Darren Afro Appleton. Now the Afro coming off a bit of an interesting 2006 series, but he's on fire this year. 2 fourths and a second last round sees him on top of the championship table. Mate, it's been a rise for you this year.
It has, with a lot of help from Team Pier. We've done very well, all 3 cars in the top 6.
It's certainly a big difference from last year. What's the key to the success?
We've been working away behind the scenes and, just doing everything that we possibly can and just putting a lot of hard hours in.
Now it's going to be an interesting round for you because you could really take the championship lead this weekend.
Well, that's right. This is the business end of the series. Everyone's on fire. It's like dialed in. It's going to be a great round, and boy, it's tough.
You're sitting on a different car though. Tell us what's going on here.
Don't you worry about that, Jace. This thing's an absolute animal. Had a little bit of problems with mine, but this one's good to go.
Well, it's all looking good for the Fro this weekend. Now he's 10 points clear of Corporal Christian Pickering on the championship table. Next up is Adam Borneo Truella, Leighton Fine, rampaging Robbie Bolger, Bo the Show Yates, Tom Monkhouse and Chris Easton rounding out the top 8. Well, as you can see, it's going to be an absolutely huge round, and Queensland Raceway's got a tricky format, but no one knows it better than this man here. So let's take a hot lap with the Fro.
Okay, you're riding with Darren Appleton for a lap of Queensland Raceway. Start in second, into third, short shift into third, clutch it in about here. Bit of handbrake to trim it up, nice on the apex. Little rev limiter, go wide here, but come in on the right hand side of this corner. Through the middle, this is difficult. All the way through, just feathering the throttle, try to touch those tyres. And then through to the turn 6. Go wide, a bit of rev limiter, try to keep the revs right up to keep your speed up, as wide as you can there. And that finishes it off. Thanks very much.
The Queensland Raceway track is going to seriously challenge the Drift Australia drivers this weekend, and on top of that they've got to deal with last year's round winner Robbie Bolger. But Robbie's not the only one with a V8. There's a local boy who's made some upgrades.
End of last year, start of this year, we went through 4 turbo 1600s. Just got sick of paying for them, so I figured something a bit bigger, a bit more reliable, standard sort of output with the same sort of power as we're getting out of the turbo, and we had to keep it Toyota, so this is what we came up with. It's a Toyota 1UZ quad cam 4-litre V8. Basically what we did is we got a standard motor. They come in Lexuses and Land Cruisers, basically a whole range of Toyotas, pretty common. Really well built motor for not a lot of money. Basically we ripped it apart, didn't touch the whole motor itself, put an aftermarket inlet system with the 8 throttles on it, made our own exhaust for it, put it all together, chucked an Adaptronic computer on it, gave it a bit of a dyno tune last week, good to go. Basically we're getting about 200 horsepower at the tyres, which is not a huge amount in comparison, but the torque is probably 2 or 2.5 times more than the turbo 1600 at a lot lower revs, so it's quite a different driving experience. But the main thing is it's a stock motor, so it's going to be reliable at that output. It's a different driving experience. The power delivery is quite different to the turbo motor, different rev range, and obviously quite a lot stronger down low, so it's going to be a lot of adapting to the driving style, a lot of it set up in the suspensions required, obviously, because it's quite a different setup. But we definitely think we're going to get there, and I think it's going to be a good thing.
No, it's gone! Cuda has gone!
Last round at Eastern Creek, the Barracuda's car took a massive hit here, and it was bright blue. But this weekend, it looks $1 million.
Mate, it was awesome. We went through a lot of carnage, damage. But the results were awesome. Coming fourth in that weather conditions against the Yates here, it was awesome. I can't believe it.
Well, you certainly did, mate. You did take fourth, and this thing is absolutely on fire.
Mate, I hope it stays that way. This handling and the power is just all coming together now, especially with me driving it.
Well, it looks absolutely fantastic now.
Well, thanks to Doug from Hopper Smash and the boys Sam and Gordon for really, putting the hours in and getting it looking nice.
Well, if you drive as good as this car looks, mate, you're on for a good weekend.
I think so.